Emotes. Holy crud, emotes. For the life of me, this was a trip. Like, I would make an emote based on a Genshin emote, but give it my own spin. And the emotes were my way of figuring out how I'd want to stylize shading, how I want to stylize highlights, how I would make more versions of myself, but chibi. And I thought, oh, maybe I'm gonna be doing this a lot. I should make like assets for this because I'm so used to making assets for repetitive items. And by the end of it, some of them looked good. A lot of them were subpar. Like, it looked good after I finished it, and then I'd uploaded it to Twitch. I'd see it actually being used on Twitch, and I was like, could have been better. And I know how it could have been better. When will I have time to show people what is in my brain better? This is one of the OG emotes I wanted out. It's the I don't think it's in the roster anymore. Is it? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think it made it. But yeah, was one of the ones I liked how the shading worked. Like it worked with the water drop, it worked with everything else, but there was just very few instances it would be used. So, out of the roster. This one I think is still in the roster. I liked how it works. It works as an emote, whether it's on PC or it's on mobile. I liked how it looked. I was fine with it. Sometimes I get the funny voice in my head that says, "You look like you have a funny mustache," but I quiet it down. People already think that. Let's let them be. I liked how this one looked. Maybe I could have zoomed it in a bit more. Maybe I could have made the vein a bit bigger, but you know, if I could have changed anything, it'd be to make my mouth less of a funny mustache. But you know what? I'm fine with that as well. It's a character trait at this point. I have a funny mustache, or I have a 3 mouth. It works. Like it. Now, the stare. The stare emote is based on the lurk emote we had way back when. Now, every time I have a new outfit, I'd replace one of the older emotes with whatever outfit works better, and the cat theme just works so well with the lurk emote, and this is the only emote with these types of eyes. It works so well. And I don't know if you can actually see it when you use the emote itself, but the tail is also in the emote. Don't think you can see it that much though. We have the original slurp emote, which I now enhance. Like, this one was too many details in too many places that didn't need to be there. This is the final emote, the slurp emote. Had thicker lines, had the noodles simplified. It works. We have the scare emote, which replaced the previous scare emote. This is based off the Amos Bow outfit. We have a sad face. You kind of want ramen? I would also go for some noodles, but too late. I don't wanna go downstairs anymore. And the sad face. This one looks good. Does it? I feel like it ended up too pitiful. It's cute, but I feel like it looked too pitiful. Maybe when I have more emote slots, I'll add it back in. But for now, it's out of the roster. I don't think it's in the roster, right? It's not. I don't think so. Yeah, it's not in the roster. But thank you. This is a shine emote. It's my Prage emote? This is my Prage emote? Really? I even forgot what the basis of these things are. I don't think this is all. I also don't think this is in the roster. I meant the ramen one. Chat is kind of delayed. Oh, that's fine. I just assumed. The ramen one looks good. The new one, the newer version. Oh, so this one. Yeah. It's straightforward. It's straightforward. You can see what I mean by it, whether it's on mobile or PC. And that's really what I want out of the emotes, that it is understandable what's happening, whether you're on mobile or you're on PC. Because some emotes look great on PC. Some emotes look great on mobile. They don't look as great on PC. And I want to find the sweet spot on that. Oh, we have the original peak. So this one was the original lurk emote that got replaced by the new stare emote. This one had too many details on it. There were too many leaf shadings that actually didn't make sense. Like the shading should have been where the leaves are and not where the leaves aren't. It was a lot of things. I also made the bushes too much and it wasn't even consistent. Like there's this patch over here, but everywhere else it's like this. And you know what? By the time I made the stare emote, I liked the consistency more. We have the O emote. I think this is in the roster. Yeah, it is. The art improved so much. Thank you. It was a journey. Some of these are still classic. Some of these are still the OG trials, but they still work. When I'm trying to make that every time an outfit gets redeemed, one of the OG emotes gets replaced, so that I can keep updating. This is the original noted emote, which I think is out of the roster as well. I feel like this had too many details on it. If I could do it again, I'd put the notebook higher and the hand higher and the pen higher. Like this could have been like this instead, with the notepad and pen holding up instead. We also have... Oh, no, don't save that. This is the original angry emote. Before... This was the original angry emote before patience. Like, I made this one, said, yeah, that's pretty much me. I didn't like how it looked like on Twitch, so I tried making a different version and ended up with patience. The patience emote now. Angie. Yeah, it's Angie. But I didn't like how it looked. So I got angry. And so I updated it. This one's just a random cat. Yeah, it is an emote. It is an emote, but it's a bits reward. I made it a bits reward because there's absolutely no context where you would use that, I don't think. This is based on a template they released on HoYoLab where they asked artists to make their own versions of the box cat. And there were so many versions of the box cat and I loved them all so much that, I wanted to make my own box cat. Jig box cat. And we had this, and we ended up with this. It was basically just color coding. Too cute? Thank you. Oh gosh, we actually do have a cat in the house. Yeah, and now it's also the raider image. It looks like a cat running, doesn't it? So it works out. It works out whenever I get raided. Like it's like a bunch of cats running into the house or something. I still have the template, I think. Well, it's the higher quality one is on HoYoLab, if y'all want. I forgot what the time is though. What you called it. This is an ick emote? Do I still have that? No, this one got benched as well. Looks like a Nyang cat. It does! That's what the reference is from. Aside for, Box Kirara cat. Ah, that makes sense. That's what Kirara's a reference for, the Nyan cat! That's why she's in a box! Why am I just learning about this? Why did I get this realization from someone who doesn't even play Genshin? Thank you, Tris. I had an ick emote apparently, but it got benched as well. This is the original hi. Holy crud. This is the original hi emote. Look at the difference on that. Oh my gosh. Look at the difference on that. I'm happy about the new one. Oh my goodness, the things I changed. It worked out so well. Uh, oh, we have a haha emote as well. I'm pretty sure that's still here. Yep. There's very rare. This one's very rarely used. I feel like if I get another chance to make a laughing emote, I'd probably make it less Ito centric. Like this one feels like an Ito reference. But yeah, if I can make another one soon with the next outfit or whatever, I'd probably make it one of your normal laughs. We have the got it emote, which is basically a thumbs up. If I'm gonna replace this one day, I'd probably make the thumb up with thicker lines, because this one, honestly, if you're not looking well enough, it looks like I'm raising a different finger. Not gonna lie, it looks like I'm raising a different finger. That's probably just the voices in my head. But if I can do this emote all over again, I'd make the lines thicker on the hand. But it's still there on the roster. Oh, here's a different here. I think this one is the one on the roster. I just moved it around a bunch. Would still make the hand lines thicker. Oh, we have the free heart emote, which was a very stylized one. I didn't want to take up too much time on the hands. Just just see the heart. That's enough. This is based on the Jignari outfit. We have the fallen emote, which is the first outfit that showed the full back of the default outfit. I think it's pretty obvious what it is, whether you're on mobile or PC. You might need to look at it a bit more, because most emotes have hair on them, and this is a hood at this point. But it works. We have the original scared emote that was replaced by the Amos Bow outfit. We have the bye emote, which got benched. I think, yeah, it did get benched. The bye emote got benched because I feel like the high emote served the same purpose. We have the bonk emote, which is based off of the Roni Kabuto outfit, where you see the Beatles bonking the bug catcher, as you should. We have the blush emote, which I think is... Oh, it's a bits reward. Yeah, it's a bits reward. I like the slight reference of a butterfly on the eyes here. It's not that obvious, but I like it. I would do this emote all over again if I could, but right now I don't really have that thought for it. We have the bleh, which is just the bleh. I liked how it turned out. Is it useful? Probably not. That's why it's a bits reward. I don't know when this would be used. It is cute. I liked how it turned out. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I don't know how often this would get used as an emote though. So right now it's a tier 3 reward. It's very... I think it's a tier 3 reward. Where is it? There it is. Yes, it is. Oh, are we in the GIFs now? Oh, we're in the GIFs now. Oh, here's the original wave. Oh gosh, what is happening? Okay, here's the current wave emote, by the way. Thicker lines, it's more obvious on what I'm trying to do with it. GIFs. Oh my goodness, GIFs. So, in Photoshop, you can make GIFs. And what my favorite part about my outfit is that it's symmetrical. The default jig is symmetrical. If you don't count the logo on the back of the hand, which I don't actually put in the emotes to keep it simple. I took out a lot of designs out of the emotes. Sometimes you'd see them, sometimes you don't. Really depends on how it looks overall. But for GIFs, this one was the easiest one. I have flattened the image since, but this is the vibe emote, so you guys can see this. Now, yes, question, yes, ask away. Feel free. The pixels are fine. Can I still rewatch this vid when you're done streaming? Yeah, I'm gonna highlight it. Yes, I will highlight it after stream if I'm not too tired, and if not, I'll highlight it tomorrow. But the VODs will be available. I feel like I want to highlight different parts of this just chatting specifically, so that I can go back to it every so often. Yeah. But I'm also free on Discord. I might be bad at responding immediately, but you can always hit me up. You can do it tomorrow, take some rest after your stream. I have work tomorrow. And honestly, I don't want to go to sleep. Because when I wake up, I have to go to work tomorrow. It's fine. I just don't like working weekends. It's so eh. I know I get paid for it, but eh. I only have 2 days to rest. Why take away one of them from me? I know I took a leave like last week, but yes. Now, I would like to share a bit of how I make the emotes, but for now we'll break down the current emotes. So, this is the vibe emote, which is granted only like 2 frames. Technically 4, but I only needed this finished item and then the layers with the notes. And once I made the frames, I just moved them a bit. So if I open everything, you guys can see the tiny little lines where they would move, and it moves just the right amount of time that it looks like I'm bobbing around. It's very snappy. It's not that smooth, but it gets the job done. I'll ask you some questions if I have some. Sure. Feel free. I'll do my best to answer. Now, if you're just looking at it from the top layer, you can see where it's moving already. And I just flipped the main body, but kept the notes the same, but moved just a bit, like they're bouncing around. And I'm also bouncing around. So you do that, you do that, you do that, you do that, and repeat. I tried to, okay, let's see. Hopefully I'm not gonna get doxxed or anything, but I can show you guys the process for it. I have to share my display though. Oh, wait, it is a display capture, right? So this is gonna be quick because I don't want to get too into it right now. Let's see, display capture. Alright. I'm gonna get into the display capture more later, but for now, okay. So this is my entire screen here. Now, when you make a GIF in Photoshop, once you have all the frames you want the final frames that you want to see, you go to Window, Timeline, and you'll see this pop up over here. Now, here you can see you can have choices on automatic, do not dispose, or dispose. And you can also choose like what times you want them to go for. So these ones are currently at 0.17 seconds per frame. If you want like a video editing process, you can click this one, and this pop-up will come up where you can see all the layers in a line. Now there's a lot more nitty-gritty to this, but since this isn't, but there's a lot of nitty-gritty to this, I'd advise you if y'all are interested in this, you watch a different tutorial, because there's a lot of hyper-focusing going on in my brain when I do this, and I'm not really the best to explain the nitty-gritty. But if any of you have video editing experience, you can make a timeline for the frames like this. Apparently, it's more advisable to do this on an animation software. This is actually a lot of extra steps that you don't need to do, or you could do better in an animation software. So this one is how it's gonna show live. And because it's technically a heavy file, it's gonna get some lag, but this is also going a lot slowly. You can then adjust the timeline like that. I'm pretty sure there's a select all option. I'm just not remembering it. There you go. And you can make it even faster. Yeah, that's how it works. Now, I don't know why this happens. I actually don't know that much about Photoshop. But if you ever delete any of the frames outside, it's gonna ruin the entire thing. I advise don't touch it whatsoever. So, but you can also see the timings here. You can change them manually. This one's 13, 7 seconds, 2, 17 seconds. I looked up in YouTube. There's like only a few tutorials, so I struggled. Really? I actually don't... I'm not much of a YouTube tutorial. I like reading up on things. The classic blog tutorials are what I read. And then I figure out a lot of this stuff as I go. Surprisingly. Now, when you save this file, you have the option if you use Photoshop, there's an export tool and export as. Now I'm not going to click this because you're going to end up seeing my folders, which has a lot of stuff I don't want seen. So export as, and you can choose to save it as a GIF. So yeah. It's the same process with SMH. This one also has... Oh, you guys can see it. Okay, you guys can't see if I look at the tabs, but you can see if I have frames. Gotcha. Now, SMH has what? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 layers. So this is 1, 2. So I basically just copy pasted the head, flipped it with the headscarf, and then have another layer with it completely turned and one eye visible. And another, and then repeat. Now going the other way and loop. The bubbles were its own layer before I flatten it, and I just have it at different sizes. So if you look at the final output in chat, there you go. I could have probably made this faster, but I like how it ended up. Something I want to be strict with myself for these experiments is that I shouldn't be so hung up on the final output, because there's really not much pressure for me specifically to deliver like grandiose outputs. It can be simple, it can be straight to the point, it can be so long as it's understandable, as long as chat knows what I want to say, so that chat knows what I want to convey, that should be enough for me. This might not be the image I have in my head, it's enough. And if I want to do it better, I can do it better later. For now, I just want it out there in the world. It's the same with what happened with the first high emote and the second high emote. The first slurp emote and the second slurp emote. The first one delivered a message, the second one did it better, but I needed that time gap between them to figure out how I could have done it better. Yeah. We also have the OMG emote. Oh my goodness, the OMG emote has so many frames. It has a bit of assets. Like, the body was its own asset, the hands were its own assets, the head was its own asset, the eyes were its own asset, the mouth was its own asset. And I had to combo them properly to get this effect. Oh, I clicked out. This emote relies a lot on speed. It had enough thickness to show that these are hands, that's the head, this is the mouth. Now, how are they moving? How am I moving them? One thing I was really proud of myself to figure out is this tiny little jump over here. I don't know how many people notice it, but while I was making this, it was supposed to end with this and then more of the mouth movement. But I just feel like there was something really missing from it. I gave it a night. I slept on it and figured out maybe if I have it jump ever so slightly, it can give that effect that you're really like raising the hand without me needing to make an entirely different asset for a bent arm. And it worked. I'm really happy with it. The mouth movement also helped a bit to give like that feeling of time or something. I'm really happy with it. This one is my favorite effort for a GIF. And now I stop thinking about it. Oh, and this is the emote. Now I made it choppy. This one actually looks very choppy because I had to individually zoom into each frame. It's the same frame. It's the same layer. I just zoom in for every frame. Later on, I discovered that just like a video editing tool, you can actually zoom in. Oh gosh, you guys can't see it. Let's see. Let's bring back that display. Just like a video editing tool, you can actually add motion. So I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you? You will go for, this currently has no motion. If you just wanted a smooth motion for a frame, and it's just one frame, you can pan and zoom, you can pan, zoom, rotate, or rotate and zoom. And gosh dang, I learned this after I made all of the emotes, all of the GIFs. So, when I make more GIFs in the future, I am gonna exploit the heck out of this. Or so help me. This is such a good tool. I would have loved to have known this while I was making the psychic damage emote. It worked so well. I could have just panned and zoomed. But no. I had to manually zoom in. What a learning curve. But yeah. I'm happy with how long the final frame is though. The final frame being that like, no. I am a cat, unfortunately. Well, I'd love to be a cat, actually. Just be pampered all day inside a house, being fed, just sleep, or go new. Sounds lovely. But yeah, I'm really happy with that long pause at the last frame. It's comedy.